In a world built to provoke you, staying calm isn't weakness. It's a weapon. Think about it. You're cut off in traffic, betrayed by someone you trusted. Your boss humiliates you in front of others. Most people explode or shut down. But what if you did nothing? Not out of fear, not out of apathy, but because you've trained your mind like a warrior. You've silenced the inner chaos. And in that silence, you become unstoppable. While they lose control, you take it. That's not just Stoicism. That's strategy. The calm mind sees everything. It calculates, adapts, responds, not reacts. It's the trait that Marcus Aurelius used to rule an empire, the mindset Epictetus used to find freedom even in slavery. And it's the same power you can learn today. Welcome to modern Stoicism. This channel isn't about soft motivation or toxic positivity. It's about becoming unshakable through Stoic wisdom and the shadowed insights of dark psychology. Today, I'm going to show you how to train your mind to stay calm in any situation. This video isn't just content, it's a turning point. So pause whatever else you're doing. Hit like if you're ready to become emotionally bulletproof. And comment below, "Calm is my power." Because from this point on, you don't just live in the world, you control how it affects you. Section 1. The Power of Calmness, How to Master Your Emotions. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Seneca. In today's world, where everything moves fast and emotions run high, calmness can feel like a superpower. Emotional control isn't just a nice skill to have, it's the foundation for creating true inner peace. And it's not about suppressing your emotions or pretending everything is okay. It's about learning to stay centered no matter what life throws at you. The Stoics, ancient philosophers who mastered the art of living well, taught that external events don't disturb us. It's our reaction to them that causes distress. This means that calmness is within your control. By practicing self-awareness and focusing on what you can control, your thoughts and responses, you can create a state of inner tranquility, no matter how chaotic your circumstances may seem. Here's where dark psychology comes into play. It's a concept that explores how others may try to influence or manipulate you emotionally. Those who understand your vulnerabilities can use your reactions to control you. But when you're calm and clear-minded, you stop being a target for manipulation. You no longer react impulsively to external triggers because you control your emotions, not the other way around. Imagine you're faced with a stressful situation, a difficult conversation, a looming deadline, or even unexpected news. What is your first reaction? Fear, anger, frustration? Most people immediately react without thinking, which only fuels the emotional chaos. But a Stoic would pause, step back, and choose their response. They would remember that they can't control what happens, but they can control how they react. This is the core of Stoicism. You have the power to choose your response. By doing so, you stop external circumstances from determining your peace. Instead of being swept away by emotions, you maintain a sense of calm, which allows you to think clearly and make better decisions. Being calm doesn't mean being passive. It means being intentional. Calmness gives you the space to think, to assess, and to make decisions that align with your values, instead of reacting based on fleeting emotions. This is how you take control of your mind and ultimately your life. As you move forward, try this simple exercise. When you feel an emotional reaction bubbling up, pause for a moment and ask yourself, what can I control here? How can I respond with calmness? This practice will start to shift your mindset. helping you remain grounded in any situation. If this resonates with you, leave the phrase, "I control my calmness," in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video if you're ready to master your emotional power. Section 2. Strategic detachment. Letting go of what you can't control. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Epictetus. How often do you find yourself attached to something outside your control? A relationship, a particular outcome, or even a material possession? The truth is, the more we cling to things that are not in our control, the more we risk losing our peace. Detachment, or the act of letting go, is one of the most powerful tools for maintaining inner calm. The Stoics understood this principle well. They believed that emotional turmoil arises when we become attached to things we cannot change or control. Whether it's the actions of others, a job situation, or even our personal goals, attachment creates emotional vulnerability. When these external circumstances shift, we can feel devastated. But by practicing strategic detachment, you free yourself from the chaos. Strategic detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop letting your emotions depend on outcomes or things you can't influence. When you detach from an outcome, you take the power back. Instead of stressing over what might happen, you focus on what you can do in the present moment. The Stoics emphasized that we can only control our own actions and reactions, not external events. When you align yourself with this idea, you begin to experience a profound sense of inner peace. Let's look at an example. Imagine waiting for an important job offer. If you become emotionally attached to this specific outcome, you might experience anxiety, impatience, or frustration. However, by practicing detachment, you still care about the job, but understand that the decision is outside your control. Instead of stressing, you shift your focus to what you can control, preparing for other opportunities, refining your skills, or simply maintaining a calm mindset. In dark psychology, manipulators know that they can control your actions by exploiting your attachments. When you're emotionally invested in a particular outcome, you become vulnerable to manipulation. But when you practice detachment, you remove that emotional leverage, and your responses become rooted in clarity, not reaction. To begin practicing detachment, ask yourself, can I control this situation? If not, how can I detach from the outcome? Focus on the process, not the result. By doing this, you shift your mindset, allowing yourself to be free from external expectations. Remember this empowering thought: I am free from the things I cannot control. Leave that phrase in the comments to affirm your commitment to detachment. And don't forget to like this video if you're ready to live with greater peace and emotional freedom. Section 3. Mastering your mindset. How perspective shapes your peace. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius. One of the most powerful tools for staying calm in any situation is the ability to control your mindset. In Stoicism, this concept is central. We cannot always control what happens around us, but we can always control how we interpret and respond to events. Our perspective shapes our reality, and ultimately, our peace. Let's start with an example. Imagine a difficult situation arises. Perhaps you're facing criticism, an unexpected setback, or a difficult conversation. The natural reaction might be to feel frustrated, upset, or defensive. But this is where your mindset comes into play. Instead of reacting emotionally, you can choose to reframe the situation. What if you viewed it as an opportunity to grow, to learn, or to practice patience? This shift in perspective can transform your emotional experience. The Stoics believed that our judgments about events, not the events themselves, are what cause us distress. What does this mean? It means that if you change the way you interpret a situation, you change your emotional response. For example, rather than seeing a challenge as a threat, you can view it as a chance to strengthen your resilience. This change in mindset leads to greater emotional stability and inner peace. In dark psychology, the way people manipulate others often hinges on controlling their mindset, getting you to react impulsively and emotionally. However, when you master your mindset, you become immune to these tactics. You stop responding based on fear, anger, or frustration, and start responding based on logic, clarity, and composure. To truly master your mindset, you need to become aware of your thoughts. Start noticing the stories you tell yourself. Are they empowering, or do they limit your potential? For example, if you think, "I can't handle this," you're reinforcing a negative mindset. But if you reframe it to, "I can handle this, I choose how to respond," you instantly regain control of the situation. This practice doesn't happen overnight. It requires intentional effort. Start small by choosing to reframe situations that trigger emotional reactions. Over time, this will become second nature. With consistent effort, you'll find that your ability to remain calm in the face of adversity strengthens, and inner peace becomes a natural state. Here's a phrase to reinforce the power of mindset. I choose my thoughts, and I create my peace. Leave that phrase in the comments to remind yourself that you are the master of your mind. And if you found this valuable, like this video and subscribe for more tips on how to live a calm, stoic life. Section 4. The power of perception. Seeing obstacles as opportunities. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Epictetus. You've likely heard the saying, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger." While it sounds like a motivational cliché, there's a deep Stoic principle at play here: the power of perception. In life, challenges are inevitable. We all face obstacles, disappointments, and moments of suffering. But here's the secret that most people don't understand. Every obstacle is an opportunity in disguise. What does this mean? Let's break it down. Stoicism teaches us that we cannot control external events, but we can control how we perceive them. The same event can be viewed in two completely different ways. One leads to stress, anxiety, and helplessness, while the other leads to growth, strength, and resilience. The difference lies in your perception. For example, let's say you lose your job. Most people would immediately react with panic, fear, and frustration. How will I pay my bills? What will my family think? I'm a failure. These emotional responses are automatic, rooted in fear of the unknown. But a Stoic would respond differently. They would take a step back and recognize that while they cannot control the loss of the job, they can control how they view the situation. Instead of viewing it as a failure, they could see it as an opportunity to reevaluate their career path, discover new passions, or find a better job that aligns more closely with their values. This is where the dark psychology element comes in. Perception is power. When you shift your view of obstacles from threats to opportunities, you take away the emotional charge that others may try to use to manipulate you. By staying calm and strategic, you gain an edge over those who are controlled by their reactions. Let's consider a deeper example. Imagine someone close to you betrays your trust. Most people would immediately react with anger, bitterness, or a desire for revenge. But the Stoic doesn't rush into emotional turmoil. Instead, they understand that betrayal is a test of character. The real opportunity lies in how you respond, not in what the other person has done. By keeping a calm and strategic mindset, you are empowered to respond in a way that aligns with your values. You might decide to confront the person calmly, or perhaps you decide that no response is necessary. In either case, you maintain your dignity, your peace, and your sense of self-control. Your calmness, not your anger, is what gives you power. Another principle from dark psychology is the idea that emotions are often weapons used to manipulate you. If you react impulsively to emotional triggers, you become susceptible to manipulation. But when you control your perception and maintain calmness, you disarm those who seek to use your emotions against you. Here's an exercise to practice this principle. The next time you face an obstacle, whether big or small, pause and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What opportunities does this situation offer me? In doing so, you transform the obstacle into a stepping stone. Your response shifts from reactive to proactive. To reinforce this, leave an empowering phrase in the comments below. I see obstacles as opportunities for growth. Let's share that mindset with the world and show everyone that we control how we perceive challenges. And if this concept resonates with you, don't forget to hit that like button. Your journey towards mastering calmness, perception, and strategic thinking is just beginning. Section 5. The Art of Detachment. How to let go without losing control. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Epictetus. In a world that constantly demands your attention, learning to practice detachment is one of the most powerful tools for maintaining inner peace. Detachment isn't about withdrawing emotionally from life or caring less. It's about choosing what you attach your emotions to and letting go of what you cannot control. The Stoics understood that the root of much suffering comes from attaching ourselves to external things, whether it's a person's approval, a job outcome, or a specific result. When we base our happiness on these external factors, we are setting ourselves up for disappointment. External things are unpredictable, and when they change, our emotional state often does too. But by practicing detachment, we break free from that cycle. So, what does detachment really mean? It's the realization that we cannot control everything. The only things we can control are our thoughts, actions, and reactions. The rest, the actions of others, the future, the past, are outside our control. When you accept this, you can start focusing your energy on the things that truly matter: your responses, your behavior, and your internal state. In dark psychology, manipulators thrive on the idea that they can emotionally control you by tying you to certain outcomes. If they know you're emotionally invested, they can use that attachment to manipulate your actions. But when you practice strategic detachment, you take the power back. You stop reacting emotionally to things you cannot control and instead focus on what you can do. Here's how you can apply detachment in your life. Next time you feel stressed or anxious about something out of your control, pause and ask yourself, is this something I can influence? If not, how can I detach from it? By shifting your focus to the present moment and your own actions, you release the grip that external factors have on your peace. The goal is not indifference, but to find freedom by not letting anything outside your control dictate your emotional state. To close, let's reinforce the power of detachment. I am free from the things I cannot control. Leave that phrase in the comments as a reminder that you control your peace, no matter what happens around you. If this message resonates, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more content that helps you live with strength and serenity. Section 6. Embrace inner peace. living with calmness and purpose. He who is brave is free. Seneca. As we conclude this journey, let's focus on the ultimate goal of inner peace. In a world full of chaos, noise, and uncertainty, it might seem impossible to stay calm. But the secret to true peace lies not in the absence of challenges, but in your ability to maintain your sense of calm amidst them. The Stoics taught that true peace is found within. It doesn't come from external circumstances. It comes from within you, through intention and control. When you live intentionally, when you make decisions based on your values and not on emotional impulses, you begin to direct your life rather than react to it. Think about it. How often do we allow external events, whether it's a frustrating conversation, a setback in our career, or someone else's actions, to dictate how we feel? The Stoic way of life challenges us to detach from the things we cannot control and focus on what we can control, our own thoughts, responses, and actions. This practice of strategic detachment is a powerful tool from dark psychology. It teaches you not to react impulsively to emotional triggers, but to remain grounded and strategic. When you live with a clear sense of purpose, when your actions align with your core values, you become immune to manipulation and emotional chaos. You take control of your responses, no matter what happens around you. Incorporating this into your life means you stop being a victim of circumstances. You stop clinging to outcomes, and instead, you focus on living with integrity and purpose. Every challenge, every obstacle, becomes a chance for growth. The Stoics didn't avoid hardship, they embraced it. They knew that adversity was an opportunity to build strength and character. Living with purpose is not just about achieving external success or getting what you want. It's about being clear on your values and taking consistent actions that align with those values. When you have a purpose that drives you, external setbacks don't disrupt your peace. You know that you can handle whatever life throws your way because your inner strength is rooted in who you are and not in what happens. Here's the powerful realization. You are the creator of your own peace. Your inner calm comes from your ability to live intentionally, to align your actions with your values, and to detach from outcomes that you can't control. This doesn't mean you won't face challenges, but it does mean that no matter what happens, you stay grounded. To wrap it up, remember this. I am the master of my peace, and I choose to live with purpose. This is the key to emotional freedom and inner calm, staying rooted in your values and letting go of the things you cannot control. If this message resonated with you, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay connected. You're now equipped with the mindset to master your emotions, live with purpose, and achieve true inner peace.